So this is my first vlog one for ethics in education, and I am feeling overwhelmed after week one. I'm overwhelmed with obviously the fact that we're dealing with a whole new kind of education now that we hadn't experienced before with Common Core and that idea and curriculum coming through. And more than that, I'm overwhelmed by the fact that we have so many different teachers teaching in all different styles, from those that use technology in the classroom and those that use very standard, traditionalist methods to very hardcore content focused class and assessment. All of those, balancing those, finding the time to, and the time to think about them is very difficult for me. Likewise, what I'm really struggling with Common Core and thinking about that is just the fact that the pedagogy is not defined. It's really awesome that it's not defined, so you can kind of choose your own method and choose your own way because you're only teaching skills and content. But that also makes me apprehensive because you're given so much freedom. Some of the things I've really enjoyed, on the other hand, are I'm enjoying how many discussions we're having, even if they are very, very, very exasperating at times, because to be cognitively aware for 6 hours a day or 30 hours a week is something I've never done before. In college, for instance, I'm taking 15 hours a week where I have to be in my mind discussing, thinking, and even all those were discussion classes. So having so many discussion classes are refreshing, but also pretty exasperating and exhausting. But it's good practice for when you're a teacher and you're working 6 hours doing your own education kind of thing. Some of the things I'm looking forward to then is actually moving more into the teaching and presentations and debates, especially part of this section. The taking sides we have in 2 different classes I'm super excited about, because taking sides is I'm actually a little bit familiar with that series, and it's a great way to engage learning without really forcing extra, with leveling the playing field, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So everyone has the same resources and it's a effective kind of debating. Super excited about that. Likewise, very, very excited to get into methods course teaching, because as I was talking about pedagogy, that's something that methods, I feel like, will clear up a lot of pedagogy in math. I feel like a lot of the stuff we're learning is very language arts, social science heavy, which is great because that's obviously almost a majority of the curriculum, but still seeing everything through a math lens is difficult for me, so I'm trying to move into that, especially as the weeks go by. The final thing I wanted to dwell on is actually the assessment class, and thinking about how the assessment class kind of fits in with the other classes, because it's so focused on assessment and what we need to be teaching, whereas all the other classes are more focused on what is teaching. I mean, the ethics class is talking a lot about behavior and construction, and humanism, which was a great discussion and really interesting. The teacher here profile, that's just what is good teaching as opposed to what you need to be teaching. And I guess what I'm struggling with is how you bridge that gap and actually the true how of teaching, which I recognize I'll get in methods and probably won't get too much until methods, but it's still something that I want to think about, and I want to keep that in mind. Final thing, overall, it's been a great week. Obviously, I'm exhausted. I think all of us need to get some more sleep, because it's a long week, and again, staying cognitive that long is exhausting.